Hey there guys, I just wanted to drop in for a few minutes and talk to a couple of my friends here. I get to constantly talking to people about my garden, and every year it's a source of passion for me and my family. I get excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I go out and I buy the plants from the local nurseries, whoever has some of the best sales. This year it was Sutherland's. They had a 79-cent early bird special, so a lot of the plants I got was from there. But what I really want to talk about is the easy way to just get started gardening. I've had a few friends in the past couple weeks who have said, show me thy ways, or, I really don't have time, or, I don't really understand the basics. So what I want to do is I want to submit a baseline for gardening. I want to walk you through my garden, show you a couple things that I have. As you can tell here in a minute when I turn the camera around, the gardening space I use is very, very small. I'd say it's somewhere close to maybe 40 feet by 40 feet. You can go even smaller. The area that my straw bales are in is around 10 feet by 20 feet. It's very, very easy to make space, to make room, and to make a little bit of time just to make your garden grow. So, what I want to do is just walk you through. The first thing I did was I started with straw bales. As you can see, I've already got the garden planted. I took 9 straw bales, I planted them on their sides, and I put them side by side. Now, the reason you want straw instead of hay bales is because you do not want grass to be growing up while you're trying to run your garden. Again, you want to make this as simple as possible. Straw does not contain the seeds that hay does, so therefore you won't have the issues of weeding as much as somebody who uses hay bales or just has an in-the-ground garden. So the simple process is you go out and you buy straw bales. I wouldn't pay more than $6 a bale. You can go locally to Race Brothers here in Springfield. You can also try to check out your local farms. Facebook Marketplace is a great place to look for things and items, buckets, planters, extra dirt, straw bales, and even vegetables. If you go in and search for vegetables right now or plants on Facebook Marketplace, there is an abundance of people out there who are selling what they have grown. The first thing you want to do, though, is you want to locate a place in your yard that's going to have plentiful sun. It doesn't matter if it's facing the west or facing the east. You'll hear some gardeners say, well, I plant them towards the south, and or I plant them towards the west because they get that afternoon sun. Look, this is east, that's west. The sun comes up, goes over, and goes around. So therefore, the only thing I have done that I've remembered is to put a methodical way of planting my peppers. So I've got my jalapenos here, I've got habaneros here, and as you see on this end plant, I've already got one growing. And then tomatoes in between. Straw bales are great for planting tomatoes, peppers, okra, cucumbers, any of those types of plants that are going to need a very good, strong root system. What you want to do is you want to go and get your straw bales set. Find a place in your yard, get them set up. So I have 9 straw bales, 3 rows of 3. And the only purchase beside your straw bales on day 1 that you're going to make is a bag of 10-10-10 or another good fertilizer. I got this all-purpose 10-10-10 fertilizer. It's a 40-pound bag. I spent $10 at Walmart. Absolutely perfect. On the day that you start gardening, literally you're going to take a cup per bale. I filled up a little small Maxwell House coffee can, and that was enough to really hit all nine bales. And you're going to heavily water each bale for 10 days straight. So you'll just do 1 watering and 1 feeding of fertilizer, but you're going to do 10 days of that regimen. And it shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes. But I just want to tell you really what you're looking for. You want to get the side of this bale right in here. You want to get it nice and wet. What you're looking for is you want to put the water on top, spray it heavily enough where it starts coming out the side. What you're trying to do is you're trying to lower the core temperature of the bale. It's also going to start forming and creating a compost-like structure inside. So not are you putting soil on top, but you've also got soil that's starting to make itself down here inside the bale. It's going to make for a real healthy growing environment for your plants. The day that you start planting, you're looking for the temperature to be about somewhere between 60 and 70 degrees. I always just stick my hand down. If it's nice and cool, like putting it in a puddle of water, you're probably right around in the same time frame and temperature point that you're looking for. It's not an exact science, although some gardeners will be like, no, it needs to be 68 degrees. Look, if you can put your hand in there and it feels comfortable, you're good to plant. But you definitely want to do 10 days of watering, 10 days of a fertilizer feeding simultaneously. And then I got a bag of organic humus or manure. You can get the cheap bags at Walmart. They're $2 a bag, and then a bag of topsoil, whatever you choose. Some people like Scott's. You're just a brandophobe, whatever you want to do. But definitely you want to get a topsoil and a humus, excuse me. And what I did is I mixed it in the wheelbarrow, a bag each, and 2 bags covers your whole row of 3 bales. And I would make a layer of dirt as I went down. Then where I wanted to plant the plants, I would stick my hand down and just kind of separate it and move it over. And then I would stick the plant right down in the middle, filling in with another couple handfuls of dirt. And I would do that same regimen for each plant as I went down. Each row of 3 bales, I believe, holds somewhere between 14 and 15 plants depending upon your spacing. Now, I'm going to plant these a little bit closer together because I do have cages that I'm going to put on each end, and I'm going to string these up. I'm not going to put cages around them. I'm just going to trellis them up on twine and baling wire. But you can put them a little bit further apart if you just want to use individual cages. But as you can see, you know, these bales stay wide enough, they stay strong enough. The cool part about these bales is at the end of the year, they're still yours. They're not garbage. So you can literally cut the twines up, spread the bales out over your gardening area, and you've already created 1 layer of compost. If you do this for 2 or 3 years, and I've been telling everybody about this, do this for 2 or 3 years, and I can guarantee you at least 1 inch to 2 inches of good, solid, hard compost that you can actually start planting in the ground with after a couple years. And say you just want to go plant in the ground and then do 1 row of straw bales or 2 rows of straw bales, and eventually you get to the point where you're not putting the straw bales out, but you're actually gardening in the ground. The other thing I did this year is I dug up about a 2 foot by 1 foot trench, and I went all the way down about 15 feet. As you can see, I've got my potatoes. They're already starting to come up. These are about 1 foot off the ground now. The rains have been great. As you can tell, I've got to get in here and weed. Look at this, guys. I started this flower bed on the same day that I started these straw bales. No weeding at all. I've got to weed these beds. And I haven't had the garden in less than like 5 weeks. So that's just a good idea as to what you're dealing with. Got the cucumbers here. And then, you know, I've got peas growing. They're starting to sprout up. The other thing you really want to do is have some sort of flower arrangement around your garden. I always like using marigolds. It's kind of a real simple plant. You just put it in there, give it water, and they'll grow up just fine. They're absolutely gorgeous in the fall when the colors mix together. Plant them next to your mums. They're going to be even better. Snapdragons are always another favorite that I like to put out. A couple other things that I like to use. I like to use pansies. They're my favorite. Abby's has some peonies, but you definitely want a flower that's got good color, bright, strong. That way when the bees start coming around, they can start pollinating your vegetables. I'll get more into that at another point when I start getting flowers on this, because there are some of you who are going to struggle and be like, I've got a ton of tomato flowers, but I don't have any tomatoes growing. How do you get that to happen? I've already got a good pollination schedule going here with the jalapenos, so I don't think I'm going to have a problem with my tomatoes this year, although there have been problems in the past, and I'll definitely make a short video for that. But for now, these are the straw bales. You're looking, like I said, you're looking at $5 to $6 a bale, depending upon where you use it. Definitely utilize Facebook Marketplace. Don't be afraid to drive out to the country and get a few bales. You're looking at about $2 a bag for the topsoil and the manure and humus, whatever you feel like using. And then, of course, your plants. Look, folks, it's not that hard. You can go to Sutherland's, you can go to Home Depot, go to Facebook Marketplace. It's almost the end of May, beginning of June, so you're definitely going to find some of these plants on sale. Don't be afraid to venture out this year. Try something new. That's the best thing about gardening, is you can always do something, and you know what? It's only a foot by foot space that you could be potentially wasting, and you can run it over, till it up, and do it again next year. There's no wasted time in a garden. Anybody who ever says they're wasting time in a garden is a fool and needs to reconfigure their life. But anyways, this is it for now. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, definitely comment below. I'll be happy to help you out. And like I said, for those of you people that are in the Springfield area, I would love to come out, help you out with your gardens and help you get started so that you can start enjoying your own homegrown vegetables. That's it for now. We'll talk to you later.